Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mitchell, and hey, in today's video I want to talk about don't let the thoughts in your head control your life. This is basically going to be a video about like the subconscious that everyone has and everyone knows what I'm talking about. Those voices, that voice inside of your fucking head that never seems to go away. Like you can't sit in silence for a extended amount of time without that voice saying something like, oh, I'm hungry right now, or oh, I don't like the way she looks right now, oh, he looked at you funny, or the different things start. Like, you ever hear like those, like the shower thoughts or the shower conversation inside of your head? That's what I'm trying to talk about. I've got 4 bullet points right here. I'm gonna read one and then talk about it and then move on to the next, okay? Because I really want to help you guys understand in this video that dialogue inside of your head, call it like your roommate, if you will. It's always looking for something to discuss, to analyze, to solve, and it's good depending on the situation that you're in. It might produce like cortisol in your brain to put you in a fight, flight, or freeze response. Okay, so it also, these voices in your head, it's also a survival mechanism. So if you are somebody that chooses to listen to these voices, you're letting this voice inside of your head control who you are as a person, and your thoughts in your head is not who you are as a person. This is going to be especially critical if you guys are trying to do something in your life. That could be starting a business, getting a new job, or doing something you've never done before, like bungee jumping, jumping out of a plane, talking to girls, right? If this is all new to you, those voices in your head is going to try to stop you from doing these things because it's not safe. People don't like change. The brain doesn't like change, okay? So this is why most people never change. I want to tell you in this video that in order for you to change, so you can start doing things you want to do and literally experiencing life like you should, you can't let this fucking voice control you. So, the nature of the inner voice. And this voice like narrates our experiences and gives us endless commentary. This is why that shower thought or that shower conversation or whatever is like a thing. It might point out problems or talk about fears. That's one thing I want to talk about is if you sit there and actually like consciously pay attention, you are going to notice your brain will consistently look for problems. And if you had a problem that got solved in the past, guess what? It's going to fucking find another one. I'm telling you guys right now, sit with your thoughts and record what it is you're talking about, and you're going to see that I'm right. Your brain will constantly look for problems. Maybe you had a conversation with somebody that didn't go well, or maybe you wanted to talk to a new girl and you didn't, or maybe you know that you should be working more but you're choosing not to, and so the voice inside of your head is going to make you feel like a piece of shit or that you're lazy because you know you need to be doing work but you don't want to. Okay, that's what the voice does. So if it talks about fears, that could be like fears could be if you got like cheated on, or in my case, like I got kicked. I'll talk about this in a second. But when I was younger, I got kicked off my bike from those people that ride bikes for like 100 miles at a time. So that's a trauma that I had in the past, and I remember where it happened at too. I don't like those guys. So that could be because I have a negative experience with them. That might be a fear that I have that I'm unaware about, or maybe more like trauma. All right. But it's not necessarily an accurate or reliable voice, and that's what I want. I'm trying to really drill that into your head. Okay, the thoughts that you have in your head are sometimes not accurate or not reliable. If you want to go and meet somebody that you don't know, your voice is going to say things like, oh, she's in the middle of working out. Oh, she's on the phone. Oh, she's doing something and she seems busy. But I can tell you from experience, if you just go up and approach this girl when she's not in the middle of doing something, doesn't matter if she's working out, doesn't matter if she's at the grocery store, doesn't matter if she's at the mall or the farmer's market, if you can get her attention, you know, she'll likely talk to you, okay? But the voice is going to come up with excuses to stop you from doing it. These excuses might not necessarily be reliable or accurate, okay? Often it projects fear, frustrations, or anxieties rather than actual reality. So again, if you are trying to do something and you're trying to do something, but you're getting stuck in your head. You're thinking about how to approach her or what to say to her. I'm using a woman as an example, like talking to a woman, because this is just an easy example. I use these in a lot of my videos because it's the easiest thing to understand. Let me try to change it. Let's say that you have to make some cold calls. Well, if you're not if cold calling is new to you, for example, or you haven't had much luck with it, you're going to get scared. Your anxiety is going to be through the roof when it comes time to making cold calls. I am somebody that has never done cold calling. I've always approached myself with business through cold DMing or cold emails, or now it's over the phone, so I'm not talking to them in person, but the way that I do stuff from the marketing side of things, I like to send videos walking people through how I can make them money. Because if these people watch the video, then I have a much better chance of getting on a sales call with them, and that's how I've gotten all my clients, right? Cold calling, in like life insurance, for example, it's a numbers game, right? But where I'm going with that is if you've never done it, the voice is like, oh, dude, this is gonna, like, what if they don't pick up? Or I hope they don't pick up so I don't have to get on the call with them. That's what's gonna happen in your head, okay? But if you don't make this phone call, you might lose an opportunity to get paid, to make money, to help somebody. But that voice is going to stop you. Number 2, the voice has a coping mechanism. This constant mental noise stems from the mind's need for safety and stability. So if you get broken up with, your mind is going to go fucking nuts, bro, because you're literally losing somebody. And that when you're losing somebody, that's a fear of abandonment. You're getting rejected. Your brain as a child, if your parents left you, you would literally die. So that's what's happening to you if you get broken up with. Your body is like, I'm going to die. This is why breakups cause emotional pain and physical pain. All right. The same chemical responses in a breakup happen if you are like addicted to heroin and you're withdrawing. That's the same response. That's why it hurts so bad. So the voice tries to control or predict our external environment, a sort of survival mechanism to help us feel prepared. This isn't necessarily helpful, though, because it can create anxiety and unnecessary problems. So again, if you got broken up with, your brain, because it wants safety, might try to tell you that, oh, it's been a week and you haven't heard from your ex-girlfriend, you should text her. Maybe it's been long enough. Maybe you can work things out. All right, if your girlfriend or boyfriend breaks up with you, they chose to break up with you. So the logical and self-respecting and self-loving thing to do is let them go. Don't talk to them anymore. They pretend they're dead to you. But your brain, especially if you haven't been through breakups enough, is going to tell you to do something to try to fix it. That's called the illusion of action. But this is why your brain is going to tell you, like, oh, it's going to try to convince you to do something, even like to talk to their friend or their family or their parents, or send them a gift or put stuff in their mailbox, right? It's going to try to tell you to do something to try to get their attention because we want them back in our lives. That's what the brain's going to be doing right here. But in this case, again, that is not a reliable thing to do. If this person left you, you need to leave them alone. But the voices is going to tell you to do something, all right? Number 3, separating yourself from the voice. This is what we need to be doing, okay? Because there's 2 different spectrums here. The voice in your head, again, is a survival mechanism that's going to stop you from doing things that you want to do, or it's going to cause you to do something that you know, logically, you know that you should not do, such as reaching out to an ex-girlfriend or boyfriend, all right? But that's not who you are. That's just the voice inside of your head. That's your subconscious thinking. But you as a person, as a conscious thinker, think of it like your conscious brain versus your subconscious brain. We want the conscious side to win, right? Everything in life that you want is going to be done initially, if it's new, because of your conscious brain. If you want to apply for a job, if you want to start a business, talk to a girl, run a marathon, go work out when you don't usually work out, you have to consciously make that decision to do that. All right. So right here then, the voice. Okay, so right here, one of the key point singer, the author of this book that I'm reading, makes is that you are not the voice itself. Instead, you're the awareness that observes these thoughts. So when you realize this, you begin to see that the voice doesn't define you or control your life. It's just background noise. This separation allows you to find a sense of inner peace, as you can choose to not engage with every thought or fear that arises. So Singer is the author of the book that I'm reading called The Untethered Soul. That's where I got these bullet points for, because I'm breaking down part 1 where it talks about the inner roommate in your head, which is that little voice in your head, okay? So remember right here, he said, makes it that you are not the voice itself, instead you're the awareness. So when this voice talks to you, you are also able to sit there and listen to this voice at the same time. So if you're bodybuilding, for example, and then one day at nighttime you're like, dude, fuck, I'm really hungry. I kind of want some, like, I want to go out and get some Reese's, or maybe I should order like a pizza from Domino's and just eat that. Well, no, like, like, no, dude, you can't do that. Well, the show's not for like a couple months from now. Like, dude, I'm sure having one pizza, one cheat meal right now is going to be okay. Okay, that's gonna be a battle in between your brain. But even though that's talking to you, you can also talk back to it. When you're talking back to it, that's your ability to be aware of what is actually going on in your head. That's where the separation comes from. The easiest way to experience that is when you're talking to yourself and you're listening to what's being said. That's the awareness I'm talking about. All right? So, for example, if you see a girl that at like the grocery store and you think she's hot, your brain might be like, ooh, that girl's really hot. You are going to be aware that you said that without speaking it out loud. That's the awareness I'm talking about, okay? That's where the separation is. Yes, she's hot, but you're like, yeah, I know she is, all right? So, last one, the power of observation. By learning to observe this mental chatter without getting swept up in it, you can gain control over how much you let it affect you. The more you observe the voice, the less power it has over your actions and emotions. So again, this also depends on the situation that you're in. If you're doing something new that's going to result in change, that is going to, like if you're like, again, if you're trying to approach a girl you don't know, okay? If you have a fear of rejection, which everybody does, but everybody's fear of rejection is higher or lower depending on how good you are talking to new people. Okay? But if you have that fear of rejection, that voice inside of your head, your anxiety is going to flare up and you can feel that, but that voice is going to be like, no, now's not a good time to do it. Or, nah, she looks like she's got a boyfriend, but you have no idea. You have no idea if she does or not. You have no idea if that girl is going to like you until you go up and start talking to her. But the voice in your head is going to come up with different fucking excuses as to why you shouldn't go up and approach her. Maybe she won't like you. What do I have to say? Oh, she looks like she's got a boyfriend. Nah, she's too pretty for me. Well, she's doing legs right now. Maybe I should wait for her to be at another machine that's a little easier for me to walk up to her. Do you see what I mean? When you can observe those thoughts, like, okay, this is what my brain's saying, but I don't know if this girl's going to like me or not unless I go up and talk to her. So you know what? I'm going to go and do it, and I'm just going to meet her, and let's see what happens. When you can separate, like if you can do things that you want to do without listening to this fucking head or your thoughts in your head, you're going to start noticing that your confidence over time as a person in general is going to start getting better and better, because now you're starting to do more ballsy things that you haven't done before. You're starting to meet people you didn't meet before. You're starting to do things that you wouldn't have done before in the past because you're choosing to live the life that you want instead of sitting here and succumbing to this voice that's not even real inside of your head. I say it's not real. It's not physically real, but I mean, it's mentally, it's there. It's real. It's always going to be in your head. It's always going to look for problems. It's always going to be talking to you. You're never going to have time like alone. And if you do have time by yourself, it's not going to be a lot of time by yourself. In the shower especially, listen to the conversations that you have in the shower, or if you're sitting alone in your car not listening to music, or if you're sitting alone in your house not listening to music, listen to the voices and the thoughts that go on in your head. You're going to notice what I said is true. It's going to look for problems. It's going to start talking to you. It might tell you that like you're hungry, or that, you know, you're feeling sad, or that you want to play video games instead of working, or you're not working hard enough. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. It's always going to be there. That voice is always going to be there. But if you choose to listen to it, if your brain says don't talk to her, don't go and meet her, and you choose to not meet her, you're never going to know if she likes you or not, because you listen to this fucking voice inside of your head that's basically a survival mechanism saying, hey bro, I get she's hot and you want to have sex with her, but you know what, man, she might not like you, so don't go up and meet her. And if you choose not to, you're listening to that voice. So that's going to be a video here, guys. I hope this video helps you. Hey, if you are a guy that is looking to get better at dating and long-term relationships, my book is finally available. Click the link in the description. It's going to take you to a page where you can watch a video. I'm going to explain why my book works so well, and then how this book is going to help you with dating and relationships, okay? Same thing with my coaching. If you want to work with me in a one-on-one, really fast track your life, same thing. I'm going to talk about what kind of problems I help people solve, why coaching with me works as well as it does, and then how I'm going to help you specifically. And if you want to sign up for that, please do. With that being said, guys, hey, if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.